Hello and welcome to Just One More Watch. Welcome today to my review of the SWC bunker, the Swiss watch company bunker. They're not quite so new field watch. They actually launched this model last year and have just relaunched it with a few different colorways in the middle of this year. It's not the first watch by the brand that I have reviewed though. I looked at their original dive watch a couple of years ago. I must say this bunker is very, very impressive. I think it is one of the most impressive micro brand watches that I have looked at in a long time, and definitely one of the best field watches that I have looked at ever. And I'm not just saying that because this video is sponsored by the Swiss watch company. You saw the pop-up, I'm sure. Don't just take my word for it though. There are plenty of other reviews of this watch out there on YouTube and they're all positive. This one has clearly been thought out from end to end. No cost cutting, no corner cutting. Every area of this watch exceeds. I've only got one complaint though. Be sure to stick around to find out what that is. This one is all about the numbers. I think there's 5 key numbers, 5 key figures to get your head around. Some of them are small, some of them are large, but they're all important. Let's flip the camera and find out what they are. Well, you've certainly talked this one up, Jody. Let's hope it's worth it. Like I said, end to end, I think this is a very, very well considered and well thought out watch. Now, I watched a number of the reviews of it when it came out last year, and I think they've made a few key, small but noticeable upgrades to this one, and not just the colours. They're clearly listening to feedback and acting upon it, which is always great to see. Nice packaging as well. Swiss watch company branded there. Good stitching, 3 poppers here, and it's proper leather. It smells fantastic as well. Let's pop it and see what's inside. Well, inside 2 pouches, one on the left, one on the right, one containing the watch and one containing the strap. Timing regulation chart, because these are regulated, and the warranty card. Swiss watch company, made in Switzerland, but final QC and regulation completed in the USA. Before I even show you the watch, I'm going to give you the first of those key numbers. It's 3, a 3-year warranty. Now, I call out micro brands that don't offer at least 2 years. I think 2 years really should be the industry standard. So I'm going to call out a brand that gives you 50% more than the industry standard. Really, you're looking at Oris or some far, far more expensive watches if you want more than 2 years. That's nice to see. But let's have a look at the watch, or should that be watches? They actually sent me 2 of their new colours. There's a plain black, there's a kind of blue-grey black, there's also a cream dial, but they sent me the brown and the green, and I get to keep the one of my choosing, and I choose green. Brown's really nice, but I think the green is a little bit cooler, especially with some of those little green accents. But I will show you both over the course of the video. Now, it looks very nice, but unremarkable. It looks like a field watch. It looks exactly how a field watch should. Perhaps slightly unusual in that they've gone for a mixture of Arabics and batons rather than the kind of standard Arabics all the way around. But the looks are not what we're after today. That's not where this watch stands out. Let's do the dimensions then, and I'll give you one more of these key numbers that I talked about. 41 millimeters in diameter, so it's kind of full-sized. Just over 10 mil thick, 10.1 mil thick, with a 46.5 lug to lug, so it wears very nicely indeed. 22 millimeter lug width, and only 55 grams on the supplied leather strap, or only 47 grams on the supplied Velcro alternate strap. I think that is the lightest automatic that I have ever reviewed on the channel. I mean, I thought my all-singing, all-dancing carbon fibre Formex was pretty special, but frankly, it needs to skip a few meals, coming in at only just under 70. So that's your second number, and arguably the most impressive number, less than 50 grams. Just fabulously light. I do appreciate a light watch, and this is certainly a light watch, and that is thanks to grade 2 titanium. Not only is the case, the crown, the bezel made of titanium, but it is also hardened. There is a coating on there. It looks almost kind of powder coated. Not quite bead blasty, I would say powder coated finish. Lovely. Flat sapphire crystal, and you want the third figure. 16 layers of anti-reflective undercoating, just a remarkable amount of anti-reflective. You can see my studio lights, you can see the blue coating there, but you can still see the dial and hands clearly legible from all angles, and that continues when I take the watch outside, as I will do a bit later on. There we are, that's a look at that coated titanium finish a little more closely. It's not a fancy case, it's a field watch. They don't tend to have fancy cases, especially when they're made of titanium and then coated. Drilled lugs though is a real bonus, especially when they give you 2 straps. 100 meters of water resistance from a screw down crown, and it is branded with the Swiss watch company logo. Case back's pretty simple, just screw on and etched with the usual spec sheet. Swiss made, sapphire crystal, all titanium and 100 meters of water resistance. One improvement they've made on this year's release over last year is the inclusion of quick release spring bars on their leather straps. As I said, quick release spring bars, drilled lugs, 2 straps, it all works very nicely, very well thought out. And they even supply a pair of curved spring bars for you to use when you're using the Velcro strap. Lug clearance is a bit tight, it's a very compact 46mm lug to lug, so again, these are appreciated. And that is what a regulated Sellita SW200-1 looks like. It is actually coming in pretty much spot on where they suggest, somewhere between +4 and +6, +5 seconds per day with a very healthy amplitude and minimal beat error. So 26 dual hacking and hand winding, high beat Swiss made automatic bi-directional winding. Cracking movements, these Sellitas. I have looked at them in watches far more expensive than this one. Let's go macro then and have a look at the dial and hands. As I said, they're not reinventing any particular genre here. It is pretty much a straight up and down field watch, apart from the inclusion of those batons at the odds on the outer edges. So rather than 1 to 12, we've got 2 to 12 on the outer edge, 13 to 24 on the inner edge. We do have a printed minute track beyond that with 5-minute markers and hash marks for the singles and 1/5 of a minute markers printed on there as well. The Swiss Watch Company logo printed above the pinion along with the brand name and automatic beneath the pinion. Date complication down at the 6 o'clock, which I think is a good move rather than the kind of slightly awkward punch in you often get near the 3. Colour match date wheel, I'm okay with the fact that it's white. I think it goes quite well with the white paint of that inner 13 to 24 track. Swiss made printed quite large either side of the numeral at 6, and that's really about it. There isn't much here, but what is here is well done. Nice handset. Brushed metal finish to those as well. Large sword shaped hands with kind of syringe tips, and I do like the second hand lollipop counterbalance and a very slim arrowhead. Perhaps you notice if I zoom right in, there's kind of a second colour creeping through on those Arabics and the batons as well. Now these look like they are applied because there is quite a lot of depth to those batons and the Arabics, but they are in fact just painted, and I assume that the base layer is one colour and all the other layers are a different colour, so you have a distinct green surround to the green dial 1. Not quite as noticeable on the brown dial 1, but there's a kind of orangey golden surround to those batons and the Arabics as well, and that is picked up by the orangey golden tip to the second hand. Why then is there all that paint on those indexes, I hear you ask? Well, because there is a frankly obscene amount of lume on the dial. That's your next figure, folks. 20 layers of X1 grade BGW9 Super Luminova. I have never seen lume like this on a field watch before. I haven't seen lume this good on too many dive watches. You can rest assured you'll be seeing this green one again in a future episode of Lume Wars. My money is on it to do rather well. My camera only records in periods of 20 minutes. I always say that's about 4 to 5 hours equivalent of the human eye. This thing anecdotally glows all night long, no problems. And that's it on wrist. I've got a 7-inch wrist for your reference. I did give the brown one a bit of a run on the leather strap. Nice high quality leather again, by the way. Smells good, good stitching. And it's padded so it's quite thick, and that is titanium hardware. Again, coated to match the titanium case. Nice and light, nice and comfortable, and very well proportioned. I must admit I was slightly confused when I had a look at this second strap that they had included. I've never seen one like this. I was like, how does that even work? I needn't have worried, it's fantastic. Infinitely adjustable, breathable, flexible, there must be some elastane in there, and incredibly light. The strap itself weighs only 4 grams. Now, it is Velcro, that end is going to scuff up, I'm sure. I don't anticipate this one lasting forever, but they sell a whole bunch of colourways on their website for $10, so they're certainly not price gouging with those. It was a light watch to begin with. It is even lighter on this Velcro strap, and it shall be staying on this Velcro strap. Legibility is fantastic, which is what you want from a field watch, obviously. Big numerals, big hands, it's quite a big dial, quite a slim fixed bezel on this one, and where's the crystal? So much anti-reflective coating, you barely know there's a piece of glass there most of the time. Now you can obviously see the anti-reflective coating when I take it outside natural light, but you can always see the dial and handset beneath it. Maybe they could have gone for clear AR rather than the blue there just for a neater touch, but hey, I'm not really complaining. I usually complain that there isn't enough AR. Certainly I can't complain about that in this case. That's it on wrist, short lug to lug and a nice downturn from those lugs. And that's the pocket shot to finish. You can see that anti-reflective coating from some angles, but from other angles that piece of glass just disappears once more. But I still have to give you my one complaint about the watch, don't I? And I have one more figure to give you as well. My complaint involves the branding. I think having the brand logo and the brand name on the dial is a bit much, especially when you have that 13 to 24 field watch style pushing it all down towards the pinion. It makes it look a bit too cluttered, and to be honest, I'm not a massive fan of either the brand logo or the font that they've chosen for the brand name. I don't really get the relevance of those two curved with the crosshairs in the middle, and I don't think the font really suits the overall look of this watch or any of their watches really. Maybe that's something they'll look at in the future, maybe it isn't, who knows. The last figure, and it's an important figure, it is of course the price. I haven't talked about the price yet, have I? $430 for one of these. Now, $430, I don't think it's a my god, drop your chips, run out and buy two immediately price. Over $400, you're going to have a good think about it. It's a considerable investment. Where does it fit into your collection? Do you love this style of watch? Are you going to see yourself wearing this and keeping it for many years to come? And obviously, what else could you buy for the same money? Well, I can hardly review a field watch without at least mentioning Hamilton, and for $425, almost exactly the same price as the Bunker, you can pick up a Hamilton Khaki King, admittedly grey market. Very, very strong offering, the Khaki King, with a day-date complication, 80-hour power reserve, and obviously it is on a stainless steel bracelet. However, it is on a stainless steel bracelet. It is not titanium like this one is. The lume is nowhere near as good as this watch has. Anti-reflective coating, the Hamilton doesn't even have anti-reflective coating. And obviously there's a kind of big brand versus micro brand debate in there as well. On that note, the Boulder Venture, I think, is another potential competitor. It is $100 cheaper, but it only comes with an NH35 rather than the SW200, and I think most people would be happy with that upgrade. Certainly it costs you more than $100 more to buy a Sellita 200 rather than an NH35, so I think there is plenty of value here. Overall, I really, really like this one. Very, very well done end to end, and the fact that they have added those bent spring bars, the curved spring bars as extras, the quick release on the leather strap, I think shows that they're prepared to listen to their customers, to listen to reviewers, and to continue refining their products, which can only be a good thing for this company into the future. So there you have it, you made it to the end. Give yourself a pat on the back. Very, very impressive watch, this one by the Swiss watch company. I do like it a lot. If you like the field watch style, why not check out the Axios Pathfinder for a micro, or the Hamilton Khaki King that I referenced towards the end of the vid. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all soon.